Good afternoon. I have just finished creating some digital pages to use in a new journal, and I had been asked what my process was for creating my journal, so I thought I would talk about this journal in stages. And the first stage is going to be about the pages and the ephemera that I'm collecting. The second video I'll make will have to do with the binding and creation of the cover, and then the third one will just be a flip through of the finished product. So when I create my digital pages, and I know there's so many ways to do this, but this is just my method. I pick a background, which is this pattern that you see behind, and I like to put in a central element where I'm folding, just because it kind of separates out things for me, and I tend on the screen to view this is one image and this is another, but then also have them relate to one another in case they end up in the middle of the signature looking at one another. And once I have that basic background, I just tend to start altering things to create more interest. So in this you'll see that here's the same background, and on this side it's completely obscured by the photo that I wanted to include the entire photo. And on this, the photo has been cut down to fit inside the frame where the writing was on the other piece. The background here, the sky in these pictures was a very uninteresting sky, so I just merely eliminated it, and you see the background through the image. These both have been cut down to fit inside the little frame. Another set where the skyline was just totally uninteresting, so I got rid of it in favor of the pattern background. And you can probably tell that it's springtime, and that's what I was thinking about, visiting a garden. Spring is a time of renewal and growth, and I don't know, a garden theme just seemed to be the thing. I do a lot of landscape photography, but I also do a whole lot of macro photography along with my husband, and I collected our images to go in here. And in some ways this is a grouping that's a homage to the Biltmore estate, which I happen to live very close to and have a regular membership and can go visit. And in this particular thing I combined macro photography as well as landscape photography. And then there's elements in various gardens that I have visited that I happen to like, and I included those. And then just for fun, I don't know how I'll use them, if I'll use them in this journal or do a totally different journal. I wanted to focus on my macro photography of both the flowers that I found in gardens, but also the critters that showed up, including the butterflies, the praying mantis, the dragonflies, grasshoppers, bees, birds. Caterpillars. And then to give your eye a little bit of a rest, I created the writing pages, which are a little calmer. And then on the back of all of them I have printed a very basic writing page so that there can be lots of journaling spots. I don't like when I'm doing something that is this vibrant and color corrected. I sure don't want to throw this into any sort of tea bath or coffee staining and muddy the color, so I do print on the back. My next stage of how I proceed is that I look around in my craft room and I go, okay, what papers and things do I have that might blend well with this? And this paper group, Kirby Teasdale, if you just take one of these pages and put it by this, you see that there were a lot of things in here that blended. I was particularly drawn to this butterfly paper, And so I will be including that, at least some of that in there. And I don't like the white backs, so I printed the writing paper on the back of that as well. And then I had some other papers that, this was a resume paper that's it's called Granite, and it's got little flecks of blue in it. So I printed out some items on this. It can either be this direction or that direction. And then an alternate background. I had some copy paper from years ago that had this kind of blue sky on it, so in keeping with the garden gate theme, I created a couple different writing surfaces. And then I had blueberry stain paper, which I happen to like better with these papers than my coffee or tea stain papers. And then you start gathering your ephemera. Some of the ephemera I created, a little pocket with items, envelopes, tags. I also print out my pages in different sizes that I can then use for journaling spots. This is printing the pages as a 5 by 7, so when it's folded in half, it's a 3.5 by 5, which is postcard size, so any of those pockets or things that you use that accommodate an index card will accommodate this. And then I printed these down into the 3.5 by 5 size, and so they'll tuck into even smaller pockets. And so that's the ephemera I created after I kind of got things going. But then I started finding other fun things. I had put out seeds, and I had a couple different sizes of seed packets, and I thought, wow, those will make great pockets in my book. So I have those. Found cupcake holders, and I think I'll be able to put those on a page as a corner tuck. I had some little envelopes and items from Daphne's Diary magazine that I punched out. Some library pockets, various bags, the doilies that seem to be in the right color range. And then I happened to find in the stationery store these pockets with these large journaling cards that I thought also blended in quite well. And so I have now collected everything, and my next thing will be to create my signatures so that I can measure the size and make my cover, and I'll cover that in the next video. Thank you.